Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Hey, is this our pal Alan West?
This is your pal from South Florida. How are you doing?
I am doing really well. You know what we're going to do? I was going to go to a break right now, but let's just talk to you right now. Are you open to having the interview right now, sir?
Sure. Let's go. I'm in your service.
Excellent. Obviously, everyone, this is what we're going to do. This is Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. Of course, you know he is the Tammy Army candidate for Florida's 22nd District, doing extremely well in his race. And in addition to wanting to get a update on the campaign, of course, Lieutenant Colonel West, we had some pretty big news about Stanley McChrystal and Barack Obama accepting his resignation. I've had some, I don't have any respect for the Commander-in-Chief, as you know, sir, and we also know you're a war hero, and all of my listeners are wondering, what is your take on what McChrystal did with that interview, and if he deserved to be effectively relieved of his duty, and if you think that was the right thing to do. What's your take on this, sir? Oh, hello? Where is he? He was on his cell. Alan? Uh-oh, we may have lost him. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, here we go. Hold on. That may be him. Alan, is that you? Are you back? Alan?
Yes, I am back.
Oh, there you go.
Tried to break our communication.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what I'd asked you is, obviously, besides wanting to get an update on the campaign, the listeners are wondering, what's your take on the McChrystal situation? Obviously, he's been relieved of his duty. Do you think that was an appropriate action? As you know, I have, frankly, contempt for Barack Obama. I tend to, while I think McChrystal probably rubs people the wrong way, he's a man who has put his life on the line for this country. Do you think that he deserved to be relieved of command, or do you think that was an overreaction on the part of Obama?
I really do think it was an overreaction, Tammy, and one of the things I have done is I went back and studied some of the confrontations we've seen in American history of presidents and generals. And, of course, the most famous one, I think, was between MacArthur and President Truman. And when you look at that and you compare it to this situation here, I mean, this really was about, hurt feelings. And, leadership would have just taken up a phone call, called Joe McChrystal, and eventually say, hey, come on, what the heck is going on here? And then just ask him one very basic question. I mean, you need to Charlie Mike, continue on with the mission, and can you do that? And I think that this whole thing about, making this grand, calling him back from the battlefield to Washington, D.C. was just an overreaction by an inept, incompetent, petulant, narcissistic commander-in-chief. And now we have a gap that we need to fill in leadership. And when you look at the replacement of General Petraeus to go into General McChrystal's job, really, that's a demotion for General Petraeus because he is the CENTCOM commander. And so now you're asking him to step back down and be a theater of operations commander, which is what he's already done in Iraq.
Doesn't it? It sounds like it also sends a message to the enemy that we have no other leadership that could handle this kind of a situation. I mean, it really is a strange decision when, in fact, this really was about... Obama made a strange comment that the article in Rolling Stone eroded civilian control of the military. Is that even possible if you have decent leadership?
Well, it's not about eroding civilian control of the military. That is not what has happened. What has happened is that the civilian leadership of the military needs to step up and show their confidence and show that they can be leaders, and that's the challenge of this entire situation. And really the message that we're sending to our enemies is that here is a highly decorated warrior, and in that culture, being a man of a fighting character and a fighting spirit goes a long way. And so now we have a president who has relieved someone basically, to them, which would be something of very trivial nature. And now all of a sudden, we don't select General Rodriguez, who is there as the deputy, to bring him up. We bring in, General Petraeus, someone from, once again, outside that theater. So I think that this has gone from something that could have been easily rectified to a cacophony of errors.
Yeah, interestingly, though, at the same time, what he accomplishes here is he takes Petraeus out of any kind of political positioning for 2012.
Oh, absolutely
okay.
Right, yeah.
Crystal may be a little bit too hot-headed, or I've always thought someone like Palin or whoever runs for and gets a nomination for 12, I think our nation and the world will be worse off because of Obama, that someone militarily will be needed necessarily to stand next to whoever will be the Republican nominee. But that very well could have been Petraeus. And you're looking at now, that man is wrapped up through this process. And really, Obama doesn't do anything for anyone else. He does, everything he does is for himself. And so there's
posturing.
Yeah, it's posturing. Now, for you, and I've noted for McChrystal, what do you do when you're a man of honor and you are having to serve a man of dishonor? And I felt that maybe the Rolling Stone interview was intentional, that he could not reach the commander-in-chief. Obama's met with him once in this process, did not respond to a request for troop increases that were made in July until the fall when it was revealed that the request had been made. What do you do with the military code that you don't criticize publicly when perhaps the commander-in-chief is even undermining your operation or possibly sympathetic with the enemy? What are your options, Alan West, in that regard? What do you think?
Well, Tammy, first of all, let me tell you, having been a commander, if I went around firing and get rid of every subordinate leader that made a little snide under his breath comment, I would have a unit to lead.
Yeah.
So I think that, once again, it comes back to the maturity. This was not something where, like you said, MacArthur, who was challenging Truman's strategy and his vision in the Korean War.
Yeah.
This was just, basically, trash talk, behind the scenes comments that could have easily been wiped away. This president could have come out and said, I've spoken with Joe McChrystal. We got this thing behind us. We are focused on
in other times. Alan West, as you're a student of history as well, for people who might not know, in both with President Lincoln and McClellan, and with MacArthur and